Today we're here at our video production studio at the Adventure Guild headquarters in East Tennessee, and we're talking about a guide incentive program that we developed for commercial operations that increases both employee satisfaction and employee retention, and that starts right now. Hello everyone, Don Stock here with another Challenge Course Pro Tip brought to you in partnership with the Adventure Park Insider and powered by the Adventure Guild, where it's our goal to help you build a better, safer, and more professional Challenge Course program. Let's be honest, staffing for aerial adventure jobs has always been challenging. Due to the unique aspects of the industry, I think it can be even more difficult than what other industries and other businesses face. Most operations, both commercial operations and camp programs, are in some level seasonal in nature, and they don't always provide a path for building a career, and they aren't likely prospects for offering six-figure salaries. So finding and retaining quality staff long-term has significant challenges, which for us was a catalyst for developing a guide incentive program for our commercial aerial adventure operations. One that would address the felt needs of our team, build a community that people wanted to be a part of and return to year after year, and that dovetailed with our company ethos. Today, in our current post-pandemic cultural context, many of the ways and means of staff acquisition have shifted, and if anything, finding and retaining good people year to year has become markedly harder. Now, when it comes to employee job satisfaction and retention, there's no shortage of information available that can help us understand the factors that contribute to employees sticking around and feeling fulfilled and satisfied in the work environment that they're in. Some of them, like the need for competitive pay, a good life-work balance, job security and stability, and supportive leadership and management, are fairly obvious. If we get those things wrong, it won't matter what else we do. Talented employees are not going to stick around long term. But other factors sometimes aren't quite as obvious, and in the stress and busyness of just making business happen, they can be easy to neglect or miss completely. Those other factors include opportunities for growth and development, a positive and supportive work environment, recognition and rewards for work well done, and opportunities for social interaction and team development. Now, rarely does anyone like to feel stuck or stagnant. Even in seasonal work like guiding or facilitating in various outdoor adventure contexts, people like to know that there's a path to learning and growing, acquiring new skills, and making more money because of that advancement. Now, more than ever, it's important that we as employers work hard to create an environment where our staff feel safe, feel encouraged, and also supported. A significant part of generating a culture like that is creating ways for employees to feel that they have opportunities to shine and to be celebrated for their contribution to the team and their organization's overall success. Now, being able to do that in the context of an uplifting social interaction where there's a lot of focus on molding and refining the team creates a synergy that contributes greatly to overall job satisfaction. If you create a culture like that, recruiting and retention become exponentially easier. Ignore those factors and be prepared to compound the difficulty of finding and retaining quality people. The question is, though, how do we do that? Amid all the things that we have to pay attention to and keep up with as business owners and managers, how do we consistently and intentionally incorporate these dynamics into everyday operations in a way that make them self-sustaining? For us, game theory applied to staffing and work culture provided the answer, leading us to develop a fun and effective guide incentive program that ticked nearly all those extra factor boxes, with increasing employee engagement, satisfaction, and retention. Now, for those unfamiliar with the concept, game theory is a mathematical approach to understanding decision-making and strategic behavior that was developed by John von Neumann and Oscar Morgenstern in the 1940s. Among other things, employers use game theory to design incentive programs that encourage employees to behave in certain ways that benefit both themselves and the organization. An example would be a company offering bonuses or other perks to employees who achieve certain revenue, generation, or productivity goals. That's something that most people are pretty familiar with. And this arrangement creates a win-win because employees benefit by performing well and the company benefits from increased productivity and profitability. Now, using those concepts, we put together a guide incentive program that focused on the often overlooked factors shown to increase employee satisfaction and retention. Now, this very creatively titled guide point system became an integral part of our employee manual and operations and included components that, number one, facilitated recognition and appreciation of our team by other staff as well as guests. Two, it incentivized teamwork. And three, it provided rewards based on prescribed actions and attitudes. And as the name implies, the program was built around a system of points that were derived from various sources. Each guide accumulated points over the course of weeks, months, or the entire season that could be used to acquire various items, benefits, or rewards. Put simply, the point system is designed to recognize things that are important to our business and our culture. For example, since ensuring staff make a good wage is key to retention, we encouraged tipping and incorporated the guide point system into the whole tipping process to allow guides to earn additional rewards. Now, to do this, we made tipping as easy as possible for our patrons. We placed cash tip boxes in a prominent location beneath a world map where they could place pins of where they were from, where those tip boxes were most likely to be seen. Now, each box had guides' photos, and today many operations also include a QR code for a guide's mobile app-based payment service like Venmo or Cash App. But as a tie-in to our incentive program, we also provided small notepads and golf pencils that patrons or other staff could use to leave notes of thanks or appreciation in each of the guide's tip boxes. And each note constitutes what we call a kudo, and it's worth a set number of points in this incentive program. Now, the guide point system allows guides to accrue points in two categories, individual and team. Team points are awarded to the entire team and can be redeemed to benefit and encourage the entire team rather than just individual members. Now, team points are awarded for things like getting a 5-star review on TripAdvisor or Facebook, positive customer feedback through email or social media, a monthly guest count that exceeds our average, or set periods of time with no near misses or incidents, or many other things. Now, team points can be redeemed for things like Candy for the Team Day, Feed the Team on Taco Day, or pizza and drinks for lunch, or all kinds of things like that that benefits the whole team for that day. Now, in addition, the general manager or executive staff or owners can also award team points that end up being turned into individual points for each guide in recognition of a particularly impressive effort at cooperation and service as a team to patrons and to each other. Now, guides can earn individual points in a myriad ways, including things like being voted Guide of the Day by their peers, receiving kudos from patrons or staff, picking up unscheduled shifts at management's request, getting a perfect score on a secret shop, or returning after the prior season, and more. Now, individual points accrue for as long as the staff chooses and can be redeemed for things like paid days or weeks off, wholesale gear and equipment through our various Pro Deal manufacturer relationships, or they can be banked to be redeemed as a cash bonus at the end of the season. Now, Guide of the Day, week, month, and year recognitions are also part of the system and each have a varying point value. Role-specific points can also be earned for things like serving as a lead guide or course manager for the day, successfully executing an intervention, and volunteering to come in early or pick up another shift. A couple of examples may help paint the picture. In the case of a course manager or lead guide, we only need one person to fill those spots on any given day, but we may have multiple staff qualified to serve in those roles. And because the course manager and lead guide job responsibilities often keep that person from guiding as much as they would otherwise, they potentially miss out on a percentage of tips for the day. So in recognition of that willingness to serve, they can earn points for volunteering to serve in a leadership role for that day. Now, in the case of a Guide of the Day recognition, at the daily close of operations, the team individually and confidentially nominates one of the team members who, in their opinion, hustled, worked hard, had a great attitude, or otherwise exemplified the ethos of customer service and our program values. For being voted Guide of the Day, that team member receives points. The Guide of the Month is awarded to the staff member with the highest number of nominations during a given month. Now, the program has been refined over time to address various unanticipated holes that either ended up not being fair to the staff or cost the organization a disproportionate amount of money. For example, in the case of banking points towards a cash bonus, we found that we needed to adjust the points to dollar ratio to make the option fiscally viable with a large staff, while also remaining valuable enough to honor the hard work and dedication that the staff had invested in receiving that bonus. But despite the hiccups and the need to make adjustments, the system has gone a long way towards helping us create the culture we're looking for, from providing a value-added incentive in hiring and ultimately improving employee satisfaction and retention. So whether an organization uses our guide point system as a model for something similar, or they address the important job satisfaction factors in some other way, employee retention and creating a healthy culture within our organization are subjects that we ignore to our own distress and our own disservice. Now, hopefully, our system provides the seed thought to help you imagine and develop your own incentive program for your staff to help keep your staff excited and committed to remaining on your team long-term, year after year. Now, to get a copy of our point system outline that you can use in developing your own guide incentive program, follow the link on the screen right now or in the video description. Now, as always, if you found value in this information, we would appreciate it a great deal if you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. And we'd especially appreciate it if you would share these videos and let others in the aerial adventure industry know about the resource that is Challenge Course Pro Tips. As always, if you have questions about our guide incentive program or any other challenge course or aerial adventure or zipline question, please leave them in the comments and we will get back to you. And to connect with us for professional challenge course and aerial adventure services, please visit challengecoursepros.com and we will help you in any way that we can. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'm Don, and I'll see you next time.